Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my home and another day of learning with Miss Monroe. And I sent a note through on the classroom, Google Classroom. I may have forgotten to put in quiz 13. I know I keep making mistakes, I'm sorry. But if I did, if you guys don't have it, which I'm thinking you might not, I want you to write 10 sentences using good adjectives to describe a noun or two in the sentence, and then circle the adjectives, and that's all you have to do. So write 10 sentences, good sentences with good adjectives in the sentence. You don't have to do a bunch of adjectives in the sentence. You can do one per sentence. If you want to do a couple, that's fine, but just circle all the adjectives. You don't have to underline nouns or anything like that. Just circle the adjectives, okay? So hopefully you'll get those and do it really well. But I want to review what we've been talking about with our adjectives because we're still not done. I think I told you yesterday we have one more question that we're going to learn. So we know that an adjective is what? Very good. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. So say it again. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. And we talked about 3 questions so far that it answers. What are the 3 questions that our adjectives answer? Which one, what kind, and how many, right? So which one, what kind, how many? When we look at our nouns and we ask those questions, what the answers are to those questions are the adjectives that we're going to recognize for those nouns. So today we're on to our 4th question. And that 4th question that adjectives can ask is whose. So now we have all 4. Which one, what kind, how many, and whose. Okay, say them with me. Which one, what kind, how many, whose. Again, which one, what kind, how many, and whose. Good. So those are the 4 questions that adjectives will answer that we can ask the noun and figure out if it's which one, what kind, how many, or whose, then that must be the adjective for that noun. So let's look at our first sentence. Jose's puppy has grown so much. And we're going to look, okay, what's our noun in that sentence? Very good. Puppy is our noun in that sentence. So circle puppy. And then we need to ask our question that we are talking about today. Whose puppy has grown so much? Yes, Jose's. Now you might be thinking, but Miss Monroe, Jose is a noun. And we talked about the fact that it's a possessive noun. Well, guess what? That possessive noun just became our adjective of our sentence, okay? So it's not going to be considered a possessive noun when it's answering the question whose for whose puppy. I hope that makes sense, okay? So we have our possessive noun, Jose's, because it has the apostrophe S, but because it's describing whose puppy, it is the adjective in our sentence. You understand that? Hopefully. Okay, we'll do a couple more sentences just to make sure. I am very excited about my birthday party. Whose birthday party? Okay, not who is excited, okay, because I am very excited, but whose birthday party? My. Very good. My birthday party. So party, we know, is our noun. Is there anything else that's describing party? Asking one of our other questions. Yes. Birthday is actually an adjective here as well, because what question? I want you to tell me. What question is it answering? Which one, what kind, how many, whose? What kind of party? Okay, it's not I don't know, bridal party. It's not a beach party. It's not a pool party. It's a birthday party. So what kind of party? Very good. So both birthday and my are describing party because my is telling whose party, my party. Then our last sentence, Jana was sad when she lost her book. Now, the question is, well, first of all, we'll look for our nouns, Jana and book. And now we need to ask our question that we've been asking, whose book? Now, some of you might go, oh, well, it's Jana's, like Jose's. No, because Jana doesn't have the apostrophe S, so it didn't say Jana's book. What does it say right in front of book? Jana was sad when she lost her book. Whose book? Whose book was she sad about losing? Her, okay? So her is an adjective in that sentence describing book. It's answering the question whose. Does that make sense? So whose puppy? Jose's. Whose party? My. Whose book? Her. And you might be thinking, but this was a noun before and these were pronouns before. But if they're answering our question whose to the noun, they are adjectives, okay? I hope that makes sense. We're gonna do the first activity, think A, in your book, page 146. So turn to page 146. Well, hopefully you already have that ready to go. On page 146, look at the box at the top, look closely, and read it with me. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. And an adjective may answer one of these questions. What kind? Red crayon. What kind of crayon? Red. Neat. What kind of handwriting? Neat. Third grade? Neat. I want to see neat handwriting when I get those papers. And if mom scans them in or she hands them to me, I want them to be neat. You know what Miss Monroe expects. Don't let me come over there. Then how many? 4 pencils. How many pencils? 4. Or several. Several answers. How many? How many books? Several. Then which one? Those erasers. Which ones? Those. Which recess? Second. Okay. It wasn't first recess. It was second recess. Which one? And then finally, whose? Whose friend? My friend. Whose keys? Tammy's keys. Okay. So think A, write the adjective and noun phrase for each sentence. John has a raincoat. So what is the phrase that you would write? John's raincoat. Remember, we did these, we've been doing these all along, and we've been doing them telling possessives, okay, sharing those possessives. But now we're going to use that to help us recognize that that is the adjective for that noun. I lost $1. Whose dollar? My dollar. Right, very good. Do you see that? All right, what about the next one? Number 3, Sarah made cookies. What are you going to write for that? What phrase? Oh, I heard somebody. Yes, high five. Sarah's cookies. Okay, don't forget your apostrophe S. Sarah's cookies. Whose cookies? Sarah's. Leah has several chickens. What phrase would I write? Yep, I think I heard a couple of you. Leah's chickens, okay? Or we could even put Nicholas's name in there, right? Nicholas's chickens. So Leah's chickens, don't forget to put your apostrophe S. Whose chickens? Leah's. And then Caleb wrote a poem. What phrase would we write? Very good, Caleb's poem. And Caleb's is describing whose poem. So hopefully that's making sense as you are looking at those. You're now seeing, oh, my possessives, if they're in front of my noun, they are actually my adjectives for those sentences. All right, so then think B, you're going to do on your own, but please read the directions carefully. Underline each noun and circle each adjective in each sentence below. Draw an arrow from each adjective to the noun that it is describing. But look what it says. Not every noun that you underline will have an adjective. So just because it's underlined doesn't mean that you have to make up a noun or an adjective for it. It may not have an adjective, but just make sure to still underline every noun. Some nouns will have more than one. So really be a good detective and look carefully at Think Bee. I know you can do it, and I'll be expecting the best from you as always. All right, I'll see you again soon.